Hey everyone, I'm John Forsey, and today we're taking a look at Azul, a game designed by Michael Kiesling for 2 to 4 players, published by Next Move Games, where players are going to take turns drafting tiles to see who can best decorate the walls of the Palace of Evora. So let's head on to the table and see how it's played. To start setup, each person is going to receive a player board, and in this video we'll be using the pre-printed side of the board. Each person is also going to receive a score marker, which they'll place on the 0 spot of the scoring track. Next up, we're going to put factories out based on the number of players that are in the game. We're also going to fill the Azul bag with all the tiles, which is where they're drafted from throughout the game. After you set up all the factories, the first player is going to draft 4 tiles out of the Azul bag and place them onto each factory. You're also going to add the first player token to the center of the table, and now you're ready to begin. On your turn, you're going to be drafting tiles from one of the available factories or from the center of the table. If you're drafting tiles from the factory, you're going to take all the tiles of a chosen type to add to your player board, and your remaining tiles are going to be pushed to the center of the table. After drafting the tiles, you're going to place them on the left side of your player board, following a few simple rules. You'll place all the tiles one by one from right to left. You have to place all the tiles you drafted into the same row. Any tiles that don't fit will go in the very bottom row, which will score negative points at the end of the round. Once you've started a row, you have to finish that row before you can start a new row of that same color. The first person to draft from the center of the table is going to get the first player marker in addition to one set of tiles that they choose. The first player token gets added to the very bottom row of your board, adding to the negative points you've gained for this round. The remaining tiles are added to the left side of your board as previously mentioned in this video. You'll continue drafting tiles and adding them to your player board in a clockwise turn order until all the tiles have been drafted from the center of the table. At this point, you'll start your first round of scoring. You'll score each row of your player board from top to bottom, moving one tile from each completed row from the left side of your board to its corresponding space on the right, scoring 1 point for each individual tile you move this way. For any tiles that remain in a completed row, they're going to be removed from your player board. If you place a tile adjacent to another tile, you'll get 1 point for each connected tile in that row or column. In this example, I would get 7 points. Any rows you didn't complete will remain for the next round. Deduct the total number of negative points you gained, place the first player token back in the center of the table, and set up for the next round by refilling the factories. The game is over at the end of the round when a player fills their first horizontal row. At the end of this round, carry out your normal scoring by moving a tile from any completed row on the left side of your board to the right side of your board, going from top to bottom. Once that's complete, we'll add in the scoring found in the bottom right corner of your board. There's 3 different scoring conditions that we're going to do next. The first one is to add 2 points for any completed horizontal rows on your player board. Next, you'll score 7 points for each completed vertical row on your player board. And last, you'll score 10 points for each instance where you have all 5 tiles of the same color. And that's it. The player with the most points at the end of the game wins. If there's a tie, the player with the most completed horizontal rows will win. And if there's still a tie, the players share the victory. Thanks so much for hanging out during this video. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. And until next time, happy gaming.